I mean, what am I even supposed to say? It's a sausage. You kill people with it. So let's just get into it. I start my life distinctively different than other women do. I'm outside of Vault 111 because I'm using Start Me Up. Look, here's the deal. If I ever have to dredge through that god-awful half-hour-long intro ever again in my life, I might just... Maybe that makes you upset. I'm sorry, I really am. But you can direct all of your grievances to my complaints department. Okay. The one sausage available to me can be located in Diamond City, the great green blight on the world. The walk there is uneventful, although there is a fun carnival near the end. Entering Diamond City, I walk down the stairs and find a freshly cooked sausage on Polly's grill. I assume, anyway. I'm not actually that familiar with sausage, or how to tell if it's cooked. Kinda just looks diseased. Either way, to test out my new sausage a bit, I talked to Abbott at the wall and agreed to fetch some green paint. My first kill is on that fake settler outside of the hardware store, where I then grab some paint and paint the wall yellow. Fuck you. But now I go to Park Street Station to save Nick. You may think that this is a bad idea given that I'm level 2, have no armor, and have very little healing supplies. Yeah, you're right. No contest there, it sucked. Mostly just the guys with the SMGs though, they were specifically designed to punish me for being underprepared. Although I did take the first level of toughness halfway through, for the whole, 2 damage that mitigates? Still, I have a brain, and more importantly, a sausage. I can fight through the pain as long as I have my sausage with me to deal it out. Even Skinny Malone is no match for it. Ironic, isn't it? A guy called Skinny getting killed with 30% fat, according to the second result when I looked it up. The whole ordeal with Kellogg's house plays out like it always does, obviously, so I'll skip it. I don't immediately go to Fort Hagen, even though I totally could. No, instead, I make a few brief stops for some trash armor and moderately decent magazines. You know, just to turn the tides in my favor. Not that I control the tides. I'm not the moon. I wish. I also for some reason decided to get up mid-recording and take a shower. Didn't even pause the recording. And then when I got back I beat the hell out of Boss Cyborg. Still didn't pause the recording. With the distractions over, aside from one other one that I won't tell you about, it was gluing my shoes back together. I begin my attack on Fort Hagen. Through the roof, because what kind of sicko takes the garage route? The synths aren't nearly as deadly as the triggermen were, although an old bug I've dealt with before pokes its head up again. Even though I did not tell him to, Dogmeat joins me inside and is automatically my companion. This has only ever happened to me in the 2 other Fallout 4 videos I recorded all them years ago. And hey, don't watch either of them. Don't watch them. Last time I mentioned one of them, I asked you not to, and 4 of you did. What the hell, gang? Did you think I wouldn't notice? Yeah, anyway, once I'm down in the basement, I get a little bit soft-locked by a closed door that's meant to be open. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's my punishment for using Star Me Up. I don't really have any other mods active, much less mod that closes the door in Fort Hagen, so I don't know, I try phasing through it for a bit, but it doesn't give. So I just disable it with commands. If that makes you upset, go send your grievances to the same department as before. Kellogg is a moron and dies moronically by not reacting to me just running at him. Of course, his death is partially assisted by me pumping myself full of various addictive substances to feel unstoppable. Oh wow, it's the Brotherhood, wow, so cool, I can't wait to blow up that stupid fucking Zeppelin. Kellogg memories, thrilling, I'm paying super close attention to this, don't worry. Oh yeah, yep, totally picking up what they're putting down. Getting to Virgil is uneventful. I mean, the only enemies I even fought were a couple of bees, and my own lack of stimulation. Oh, just thinking about the glowing sea is making me bored, to be honest. My sausage and I are skipping ahead to Green Tech, where anything remotely interesting happens. By anything remotely interesting, I mean mostly hitting people with my sausage. Don't take that out of context. Don't take anything in this video out of context, actually. What you should take out of it is that a lot of gunners died. I died a few times too, because that sick bastard with the missile launcher who apparently doesn't care about splash damage. But hey, since when has, I don't know, Captain West? Since when has Captain West cared about danger close? Tell you what, that courser makes me think that the Institute has a major weakness, drug addicts, because he dies just as easily as Kellogg after I pump various drugs into myself. I'd feel a little bit bad for him, but I don't. To decode the chip, I have to break into the railroad's super secret hideout, which they conveniently painted a path to. I'll be honest, my rancid sausage whispered to me and told me to kill, kill, and kill again. I didn't kill the railroad because I hate them. I killed them because it was fun. Of course, now that it's time to build the teleporter, I have to go with either the Minutemen or Brotherhood. Neither of those options are ideal, but I go with the Minutemen for one reason. I've completed fire support approximately 50 more times in my life than I'd like to. I'll honestly be fine never doing it again. In fact, I wouldn't just be fine, I'd be thrilled if I never did it again. Speaking of the Brotherhood though, after I solo the Deathclaw, a couple of them show up in a vertibird to clear out the last 2 raiders with me. Thanks guys, couldn't have used you 20 seconds ago or anything. Before Preston's willing to help me with the teleporter, he makes me go help some settlers with raider troubles. I definitely helped them, in the sense that they are no longer having raider troubles. I have the parts for 3/4 of the teleporter, but I've apparently never collected a sensor module. So I have to go out to the waterfront where one is sitting in a cabinet for me. Now I can build the teleporter and zap myself right on in. Since the Institute has no online security, I can just slot in a tape and download every single megabyte of data off their servers. I can think of one thing that would improve their online security. This would be a great spot for a VPN ad, but I don't think advertisers work with people with 125 subscribers. I thought it would be funny to ask one of them anyway, but they never got back to me. I tell Father that I have no interest in working for him. I considered killing him with my sausage also, but I decided against it. Of course, my refusal to do fire support means that I've locked myself into siding with the Minutemen. So I have to do a bunch of settlement garbage. Firstly, getting back the Abernathy's locket. Then, getting back the Finch's shish kebab. That was actually easier to say than I thought it would be. I thought I would screw that up like 10 times. For the latter, I expected it to be a slog. No relation to the other slog. This particular quest usually puts me through the ringer. Though I'm guessing I only lived due to having 2 ranks of Lone Wanderer in the Protector's Arm Guard. We're a far cry from the days of getting destroyed by the Triggermen. Oh, speaking of destroying, I doubled down on this by buying the Destroyer's chest piece, so I'm pretty set as far as I can tell. Here's a little secret. Despite having over 2,000 hours in this game, which, like, I could have been doing anything else with my life other than playing this game that I don't even like. But I digress. Despite that, I've never actually used real armor. In pretty much every playthrough, I've always just rocked the General's uniform. It has I believe the kids would call it unmatched swagger. I don't think anyone says that anymore. I'm really out of touch. Anyway, once I have enough settlements to take the castle, I send Preston out to start doing that. My closest fast travel point is Swan's Pond, and I think, well, after all, why shouldn't I? He had me in the first half, not gonna lie, but here's the thing. It's not about who hits the most, or the fastest, or the hardest, or the stun-lockist. It's about who's holding the sausage. And in this story, oh, I'm the one with the sausage. So Swan never stood a chance. The castle doesn't either. I mean, it's just a big old fort full of a bunch of big old fish. I ain't afraid of no fish. Fish are terrified of me when they hear my spurs jingle-jangling toward them. Women want me, fish fear me, I'm wanted dead or alive in the state of California. Okay, so I looked it up and crabs aren't actually categorized as fish, so forget I said all that and just instead let me quote a very smart man. Don't eat the crab dip, yeah yeah! The Mirelurk Queen is only the tiniest little bit more of a danger than Swan, but not physically, just mentally. Something about all those legs moving around. Ugh, yuck. Either have 2 legs or 4, damn it. Anything more, get out of my sight. Anything less, oh, that ice is getting real thin, pal. Unless they were amputated, that's fine. I'm not talking about, you're fine, you're good. Until Ronnie shows back up at the castle, it's back to dredging my way through settlement slop. It's not all bad though, because at Outpost Zimonja, I've never heard it pronounced out loud, I encounter a legendary raider who drops a sprinter's right leg, increasing my movement speed by 10%. This is in addition to the destroyer's left leg that did the same, so basically, now I'm the fastest cowgirl alive. When Ronnie does finally show up, I hope that we'll be able to get Sarge back on our side. I mean, Sarge just kinda sounds like sausage, doesn't it? They even have a couple of the same letters. But no, live by the sausage, die by the sausage. Of course, then we have to build and test our artillery. And look, all that is really very interesting. However, not long after, the Institute decides to attack the castle. You may know that the melee weapon damage perk gives you a chance to knock your enemy's weapons out of their hands. I'd like to give a very special message to whichever dev decided to do this. What were you thinking? Seriously, this is such an obnoxious feature of the perk, because once you make an enemy drop their gun, they engage you in a melee duel. And you want to know one of the worst parts of this game, aside from the whole, well, everything? Melee duels. Why? Why can enemies block your melee attacks with their arms, much less doing so while they're stunned? I'm sure we've all been there. You're swinging like a super sledge at some dumb raider, and they block your rocket-powered sledgehammer with their forearms and take no damage. Why? Why would you design it like that? Okay, hey, someone's getting salty. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Relax, it's just a game. Look, synths and coursers, barely even a challenge, so my merry band of farmers and I come out on top, just like always. Then we go on the offensive. I wade through the sewers in order to get into the Institute. If I had a nickel for every time I've waded around in waist-high sewer water in order to break into a top-secret underground horror show, 10 cents. I just speed through old robotics faster than a speeding car. The atrium is full of synths, who I have to continue the whole get my melee attack blocked by my forearms thing with. But it's okay. I'm not mad about it. I'm just really angry and want to kill someone. When all of them, even the one with the cool unobtainable black armor, are dead, I visit Father and feed him his last meal, then disable security so we can get into the reactor room. The second black armored synth drops the password for the terminal, and I just fight through the pain while typing it in and disabling the reactor. Then I plant the fusion pulse charge and Sturges teleports us all the way to safety. Now I activate the detonator, blow up the Institute, and do not beat Fallout 4 with only a sausage. What? You may be thinking, what happened? Didn't everything go right? Until now, yes. But the game didn't end. For whatever reason, none of Preston's dialogue options work, and the cutscene never plays. I think it's a righteous punishment for not issuing the evacuation order. Look, I know it was morally wrong, but come on, it was just a joke. Hey, don't go anywhere yet. We're not done here. We're done when I say we're done. The Brotherhood still must die. I attack Boston Airport and wipe it out. Usually there's a vertebrate there to take you up to the Pridwin, but I guess it doesn't spawn if you don't actually do their quests. So, I console command my way up there. Look, the game's over. Doesn't matter anymore. I win, they lose, good day. They think that they can just come to my Commonwealth with their fancy laser rifles and their power armor and their big stinky airship. No. It doesn't work like that. You're a bad man, Arthur Maxon. You never got my permission to enter my airspace. And for that, you and your entire faction are being sent to where you belong. 6 feet under. Well, we're still like 1,000 feet over, but a metaphorical 6 feet under. All of you. What a pathetic excuse of an army when you're bested by me just swinging a sausage at you. If God had wanted you to live, he would not have invented me. Corpses, the lot of you. Corpses who won't ever come back. My tools of necromancy are in another castle. You don't deserve to come back. You never even deserve to live at all. Except you, Emmett. You're chill. Look, maybe this isn't quite what I wanted. I wanted to blow them up. But hey, this is the next best thing. Okay, now we're done. If you need me, I'll be in my bed, sleeping, because I'm sleepy.